Hi guys, welcome back. So here in this session, I'll explain once again ASAP versus Activate. So already certain session I have given here, and we have seen already ASAP methodology, and in Activate also one phase I have explained, that is discover phase. Okay, so discover phase I have explained. In Activate we are having total 6 phases, but the first phase, which is discover, right? So here our involvement is not there. That's the reason some people says like the actual phase is starting from prepare, where like our involvement is there, where the involvement is there. That's the reason you will find some people will say that total 5 phases are there. Even few consultant will say total 6 phases are there. So this is not the matter of discussions whether it is 6 phases or 5 phases. Actually, we need to know that what to say, what exact, what kind of activities are involved. Like we have to perform here in this phase, in every phase, one by one. What is happening actually in discover phase, prepare phase, explore phase, right? During an interview, if anybody asks, okay, explain activate methodology, so they are not interested to you know know your conclusion whether it is 6 phase or 5 phase. You can say 6 phase, that is also fine. You can say 5 phase, that is also fine. Okay. Or else better to say 6 phase itself, start from discover. Okay. So here discover phase is completed and prepare phase. Prepare phase means what is happening in prepare phase. Look at here. This is quite similar to project preparations, except one additional activity is there. Okay. So look at here. The first of all, the project is initiated. Of course, the project is initiated, guys. And see, generally, what happened? Let's suppose. Okay. So let's suppose what happened here. Uh, okay. So Tata Motor. Tata Motor requires this SAP. So Tata Motor here in discover phase, they have decided that yes, whatever the legacy system, in the sense current system is there, that is not meeting their requirements. So we have to go for some what do you say, additional solution, and they decided to go with SAP. So when they decided to go with SAP, who will implement this SAP into Tata Motor? So for that, they invite quotations from different SAP partners. Of course, IBM, Accenture, and what do you say, Deloitte, right? Wipro, TCS, Capgemini, multiple SAP partners are there. These are the big players. Even there are multiple small and mid-sized players are there in the market. Companies I'm talking about. Okay. So they'll invite quotation from 5, 6 organizations, and out of which, let's suppose they have matched all the and compared all the quotations and finalized that IBM has quoted the best price for them. So the project is given, implementation project is assigned to IBM. So what will happen? IBM will appoint a project manager who is going to lead this entire project. Okay. Now, once the project manager is appointed, then what will happen, guys? It means the project is initiated. Okay. The project is initiated. Now, what is happening? The first thing is, so define the first activity, define project plan and objective. Project plan and objective means what is the objective of this project? So main objective is to implement SAP here in SAP S4 HANA into Tata Moto smoothly, and to achieve the whatever deadline is given by client within the specified time limit it's supposed to be implemented, isn't it? Now, so for that, what is the plan? So plan means, look at here, project schedule and timeline. So project schedule and timeline. Now here, so multiple phases are there. Of course, it is going to be, this is also divided into certain phases. Now, so for every phase, the first phase supposed to be completed in how many months? Second phase supposed to be completed in how many months. So first of all, the deadline supposed to be certain. Deadline supposed to be specified for every phase, that this phase must be completed in 1 month or 2 month or 1.5 month, right? So this is how generally what happen. If a deadline is there, then only the implementation team also work accordingly. If they found that, let's suppose the second phase is having deadline of 2 months, right, and already 1.5 month is completed, still they have done only 60% of the activity. In that case, what they will do, they will spend some additional hour to meet the deadline, isn't it? So this is how they will be able to implement this entire SAP into Tata Motor within the specified deadline which is given by client. Okay. So project schedule, timeline, resource allocations, and team structure. Okay. So resource allocations, team structure, of course, like look at here, I have specified project team setup, right? So resource allocation and team structure. Team structure means, again, resource allocations, of course, how many people are needed, and for, let's suppose, how many resources are needed to implement this entire SAP project. Team structure. Team structure means, like, let's suppose project manager is there, and in the sense a kind of hierarchy. After project manager, who is the next? If project manager is not available, then who is going to? That is already I have specified here. This assign project team roles and responsibility. So again, first of all, how should be the team structure? Project manager will be there. Next to project manager, there'll be somebody apart from this. Senior consultant will be there. Junior consultant will be there. What is the reporting hierarchy? Junior will report to senior consultant. Senior consultant will report to project manager, right? Okay. So like that, and multiple other things will be there. How frequently, what to say, the team meeting will be conducted every day or every alternative day, right, or every Friday. So these all things will be planned. And here project team setup. So project team setup, of course, a team is required to implement this SAP. So how many members are needed? Let's suppose 30, 40, 50. And what about those 30 people or 40 people? So of course, like, internally it is going to be, they can find out. I have already explained a free pool concept, guys. If, let's suppose, there are certain what to say, project which is went to a different organization, so whatever the resources are there, whichever resources allocated to that particular project, now these all resources become free. All the consultant become free, and their profile become the part of free pool. So from free pool, project manager will find the consultants, and if, let's suppose, still, like, let's suppose one or two consultants are still remain, then they can hire it from outside. Okay. Now, then what next? Assign project team roles and responsibilities. So whatever the roles responsibilities are already planned here, now it is time to assign, because the team, let's suppose the team is ready, so who is going to do what, right? So of course, if you talk about like consultants, so whatever the relevant consultant, if somebody is a finance consultant, it doesn't mean that a finance consultant will do the activity of SD. It's not like that. Whoever based on their expertise, the work will be allocated, right? Okay. Yeah, among junior consultant, let's suppose, mostly those people involved in small activities, document preparations. So if somebody has given some additional activity to the junior consultant, in the sense like finance consultant is there, right? And let's suppose finance consultant is there, senior consultant from finance, senior consultant from controlling, and they have allocated like all the documentations related activity to a junior consultant. So that's fine. Okay. So now the last one is conduct a kickoff meeting with all the stakeholders. So of course, kickoff meeting means, like, again, this is also explained in the ASAP methodology. And similarly, here also, the team meeting will be there. In that, stakeholders. Which are the stakeholders? Stakeholder means, look at here. Okay, so with the key stakeholder to, okay, formally initiate the SAP project and bring together the internal and external project team. So generally here what happened, like let's suppose 40 members are there, implementation team. All are coming from different locations. They don't know each other. They don't know like who is the SD consultant here, who is the MM consultant. Let's suppose I'm a finance consultant. I don't know who is the MM consultant. I don't know who is the SD consultant. But I need those people. There is there is a reason because finance is having integrations with several modules. So, and like that, even MM is also having integrations, SD is also having integrations. So we need to know who is the SD, who is the MM consultant, who is the PS consultant. So a kickoff meeting will be conducted with all the key stakeholders. Apart from this, so internal team means consultant. External project team means what happened, guys? From Tata Motor side also, there'll be few people will attend this meeting. Like a project manager will be there from Tata Motor side also, who is going to take care of this project and progress of the project. Okay. Second thing is like from every department, like a representative will be there from every department. That is called core team member. A person who is going to represent finance team is called core team member, CTM. What is the use of core team member? That is already explained here in business blueprint phase, guys. A core team member generally what happen? They represent a particular team, and whenever if we need any sort of discussions, that will happen with the core team member itself. If we need any informations, that we demand from core team member itself. Because in finance, let's suppose a member of 200 people are there. We don't know that who is the relevant person to talk if I need a particular information. So I to ask like who is the relevant person? A, a particular representative in the sense CTM is already allocated that this is the guy from where you can demand any informations whatever you need. Simply we have given the requirement that I need this informations. This core team member, he or she knows that how to get this information, from where to get this information, who is the right person to provide this input within the finance team. So this core team member will approach the relevant person, will gather the informations, and they will pass on this informations to us, and based on that we can do our configurations, right? So this is what is happening now. Then the another thing is, one additional activity is there, arrange the demo server to carry out workshop. Okay, so generally what happened, guys, in ASAP methodology during blueprint. So simply what happened, we are going to discuss the entire, what to say, this one. Uh, so when we discuss, okay, with a core team member, what? Discuss about their business process. Okay, these all activity. And we says that yes, if you are saying like let's suppose P2P, P2P. So yes, it is possible. Here we are going to deliver this. Okay, but the thing is, they don't know how to create a PO in what is a SAP system, and how does it looks like, which are the fields appearing over there, right? So for that, generally what happened, so this is just a verbal discussions which is happening, and most likely if we are having any document, if we are having any PPT, we can present, we can show them that this is how it is appearing, this is how the fields are. But still, like the kind of feeling which is needed is like missing in blueprint phase, in ASAP methodology, because simply we are showing them a documents or PPT or something, isn't it? But in activate methodology, it's not like that. We are showing them practically in the system. Okay, SAP best practices are there. Best practices means a pre-configured things will be there, right? So we will show them practically here. So if you have to show something practically, before that, the SAP server must be ready. Okay, and that is not the final server actually. So that's the reason it is written a demo server. Okay, a demo server supposed to be ready, so that we can in explore phase, when we conduct a workshop with the like this one business user means from Tata Motor side, right? So in order to carry out this workshop, first of all, demo server must be available. So if it is like if they're using SAP Cloud, then request a demo server from SAP itself. And if it is on premise, then a basis consultant will be there. So they will set up this demo system, and in that we can arrange the workshop. Okay. So these are the activity which is happening here in prepare phase. Prepare is, look at here, quite similar to project preparation. Almost same activities are there, except the last one. Okay. So once it is done, then we have moved to the next phase called explore. Okay. This is called explore phase. Okay, so explore phase, I have added like more explanations. So I'll just do one thing. Let me read this. Yeah, here. Here I have given like best explanations. Okay. So look at here. In explore phase, what is happening? Okay, so in explore phase, we follow fit to standard workshop. Now, generally, this fit to standard workshop will be followed. What is happening? Look at here. It replaces the traditional blueprint, okay, from older methodology, in the sense from ASAP methodology, right? There we are following this blueprint phase. Instead of blueprint, now we are going to explore the functionality, and that to practically itself. Okay, so that is the reason it is written. It replaced the traditional blueprint from older methodology and focus on evaluating SAP pre-delivered best practices to see how well how well they fit the organization's business need. So here we can show them, because SAP has already given pre-delivered best practices means, now, see, pre-configured things are there into SAP. We can make use of that, and we can show them directly that this is how, look at here. You can post cash related transactions. This is how you can create a PO. This is how you can post a goods receipt here in SAP system. This is how we can set up a GL account into SAP system. Right? And here the client will more comfortable, because ultimately they are checking the end result. Okay, before starting before starting the configurations are not started, still we are showing the end result, that once we do the configurations, it looks like this, isn't it? Okay, so this is what is happening in explore phase. Fit to standard workshop. What is this fit to standard workshop? So generally, what are the activities happening in fit to standard workshop? So look at here, review SAP best practices. That is the first. Look at here, the project team and business users. Business users means core team member along with him. If he or she invite any another expert from their team, that's fine. So the project team and business user review SAP S/4HANA best practice processes using a pre-configured system, right? Sandbox or demo client. Sandbox means that is demo itself, right? So they will review the all activities, right? Where in pre-configured system, that is, I have already explained here, arrange a demo server. So in demo server, these people are going to review. Now, these are real system demonstrations. We are showing in the system itself that this is how it is going to be created, and this is how it looks like. Okay, not just slides. Not just slides means, in blueprint phase, what is happening, guys? If the client needs to see that how the PO looks like, we can show the slides, we can show the PPT, we can show the documents. Here what is happening? Practically we are showing. So real system demonstration is happening, not just the slides. Okay, showing how standard process work out. So Again, real system demonstrations, we are showing the how the standard process work out, how the transactions are getting posted, how the POs are getting created, how the master data are being maintained. So these things we can demonstrate, right? Okay, so these are the activity. Process validations. Process validations, look at here, fit and gap. As I said, like fit to standard workshop. So first of all, fit means what? User access whether, okay, so user access whether the standard process meet their business requirements. First of all, of course, user has to decide that we have shown something. Now, whether it is going to meet the requirement or not, right? If the process fits that yes, it is okay, then it is accepted. It is accepted by them, and it means no customization is needed. No customization means simply we have to do the standard configurations, and with that, the requirement will meet. And of course, with the standard itself, the requirements are going to be meet, guys, right? Customizations in a very less activity it is needed. Okay. So if the client is accepted that yes, this PO, yes, it is fine, we are okay with that. This goods receipt posting, we are okay with that. Invoice receipt posting, we are okay with that, right? Any particular report, we are okay with that. So it means these all things fits as per the requirement. Okay. And that can be specified in explore phase. Of course, here also we can document these things that yes, this one is fitting, and it is like there, it fits into their requirement. So yes, this is the deliverable we have to deliver through standard configurations. Gap identifications. Okay. Gap identifications means here what is happening, gap to standard, in the sense standard process we have shown to the client. And look at here, if a business requirement is not met by the standard process, the gap is documented. It means now we have to document it as a gap. It means non-deliverable, non-deliverable through standard configurations. In that also, first of all, we have to explore the possibilities. Which possibilities, guys? For each gap, let's suppose I have shown a particular process and they are not satisfied. So first of all, we have to explore. For each gap, the team explores, can the process be adjusted via any additional configurations? In the sense, whatever, if they are raising any requirement that I want certain additions in this screen, right? So is it possible through any standard configurations? That we have to explore, right? If it is not, then is a custom development needed? Of course, like if through standard configuration it is not possible, then of course we have to go for development, customizations. And in that there will be involvement of technical consultant, a BAP consultant. Those people will perform the development, right? So can a workaround or process change be used? Workaround, I'll tell you guys, workaround means generally what happen if there is a requirement and there is no standard configurations. But we can apply our mind, and with the help of that, let's suppose if it is possible. Workaround means once I start the configurations, you guys will be, knowing what is called workaround, because there are certain configurations where I have to explain this. Okay. So no need to worry. Okay. So now workaround means we found the solutions without doing customizations, without doing any development. Okay, we applied our mind, and simply we found the solutions. Okay, so now can a workaround process change be used? So these all things. Okay, so in the sense, like whatever standard things are there, if it is not meeting the requirement, then of course that comes under gap. Why? Because we check like additional configurations that is not available, so we have to go for customizations. We have to go for development. And here what happened? Here we prepare a solution design document. Okay, so where fit and gaps will be specified. Right? Whatever fits, in the sense deliverable, and gap that is non-deliverable. Non-deliverable in the sense like through standard. If we have to go for customizations, then of course that is going to cost them extra, and that will be discussed by the project manager at upper level. Okay. If, because I'll tell you guys, client, if we talk about the users means they will be like, sometime what happen with the standard itself, their requirement can be met, but still they want lots of additional things. Lots of additional things means of course the customizations will be taking place, and when the additional cost comes into picture, then higher level people will always try to reduce the cost. So here it is not accepted by user, but when the talk reaches at project manager level, of course, like mostly most of the standard solutions will be accepted by the project manager of Tata Motor, because they know that if we have to go for customizations, right, which is not like required here in this case, with the standard itself they can manage. So of course it will be accepted. Okay. So these are the activity which is happening here in explore phase. So explore phase, the major important thing is generally what happened. We are showing the real system demonstrations in explore phase, whereas in blueprint phase, we were just showing the screens in the sense like PPT or documents, right, to the client. But here, a real system demonstration is there. So this is what the difference between blueprint phase of ASAP methodology and explore phase of activate methodology. Here, the PPT presentations, but here in explore phase, real system demonstrations. Keep in your mind, if anybody asks the differences between blueprint phase and explore phase, this is what you have to say during interview. Okay. Now, and only I'll tell you guys, these all, if at this level somebody are asking the questions, hardly 4 to 5% of the people will be able to respond. And those 5% people only deserve to be a SAP consultant. And of course, those 5%, because success ratio, if you talk about SAP, right, it's less. And the reason behind is very less explanations are there from the people, from institutions. They have to wrap up entire batch as soon as possible. So they are going to cut down all these things, and that's the reason very less understanding will be there to the candidate, and when they attend the interview they are unable to understand the question itself. Okay. So explore phase, these activities are happening. Once it is done, then what next, guys? Already we have specified whatever fits and gaps are there. So as per that, now what we have to do, we have to do the configurations, which is there in a realize phase, right? Again, this is similar to realization phase of ASAP methodology. There what we have done, we have done the configurations, we have done the testing. Here what we have to do, here also we have to do the configurations, here also we have to do the testing. Okay. Now, so configurations, for every activity we have to perform certain configurations, and once you do the configurations, how you guys will, let's suppose there is an activity called there is cash journal. Okay, this is a process. This is okay. So with the help of cash journal, what happened? All the cash related transactions will be posted here into SAP. Okay. Now automatic payment program. With the help of automatic payment program, the vendor payment will be posted automatically into system. So when we do the configurations for these activity, how you guys will come to know? How you guys will come to know that whether it is perfect or not, right? Or validations, substitutions, multiple activities are there. So how you guys will come to know whether it is perfect or not? So we have to, after configurations, we have to perform testing, right? Testing is also having like two kind of testings are there, unit test and integration test, which is already explained in ASAP methodology. That's the reason I'm not going to repeat it again. Okay. So these testings we have to, we have to test every configurations, and then we will come to know that yes, now we have successfully we have configured this automatic payment program, successfully we have configured dunning, successfully we have configured validations or substitutions or whatever the things are there. Multiple activities are there that we have to configure into SAP one by. So in realization phase, here in realize phase, configuration and testing will be taking place. What next? Once the configuration and testings are done, and mostly what happened guys in realization phase or in realize phase, because in this activate methodology it is called realize phase. So in realize phase itself, mostly what happened, once we perform testing and we found that yes, this process is, this activity is tested well, we can invite our core team member and we can request them also to test it. And if they test and if they have given the green signal, it means that's fine. It is tested and it's okay. Okay. So these things are happening. Now, once the testing is done, it means we have done with the configurations. We have tested this and everything is fine. Then what next? Next one is, it means we have the major activities are already performed. Now it means we are ready for go live. So now we move to the fourth page. Okay, fourth page means what guys? Now this is called go live preparation phase. Okay, your go live preparations related activities are happening. The first is system cutover. System cutover means what? Look at here. Finalize cutover plan. First of all, what is this cutover activity? Lots of people, when somebody asks what do you mean by cutover activity, have you performed any cutover activity? Lots of people are not able to understand what is this cutover activity. Even though they have their training is completed, everything is completed, but they don't know what do you mean. If somebody asks what do you mean by cutover activity, here also most of the people will not able to answer. And the reason behind is cutover activity means, see, there are certain topic when somebody asks the questions, then they can guess and they can reply. But here in cutover activity, what kind of guess? There is no guess. Why? Because the meaning of cutover activity is data migrations, right? So with the name of this cutover activity, they cannot guess that yes, it is a data migration activity, right? Until unless it is explained by the faculty. Okay. So whatever this cutover activity, what is cutover activity? Of course, it is data migration activity. So first of all, we have to finalize the cutover plan, detailed step. Okay, detailed step to move from legacy to SAP system. So plan, of course, must be ready when exactly, like it is going to, when the cutover activity will be started. And for that, what do we need to do? Isn't it? How we are going to get the data from legacy system, how it is uploaded here into SAP system. So these, first of all, of course, we have to set up a plan and then we have to proceed accordingly. So once the plan is ready, right? Because we have moved to the fourth phase, where the, in the sense like the foods are ready, now it is supposed to be served. So before that, whatever the additional things are there, that must be, that must be on place, so that we can invite the people and we can serve the food, right? So those preparations are happening here in deploy phase. Okay. So finalize the cutover plan. Plan is already, it is ready. Now perform mock cutover to test the timeline, timeline and process. So perform mock cutover means generally what happened. Let's suppose if we talk about SAP, here we have three server: development, quality server, and production server. Okay. See, in a single server, configuration and testings are not, cannot be complete. You cannot do, right? Configuration and testing means, let's suppose we have one server, server A. In that itself, we have done the configurations and we have done the testing. So lots of additional data are already there here in this server, isn't it? So if the client started hosting the real-time transactions in this server itself, so lots of testing related data are already there. So they won't be getting the correct balance actually and correct report. So generally what happened, first of all, so three different servers will be set up by basis consultant: development, quality, and productions. Okay. I'm explaining here if it is on premise. Okay. So now three different server will be set up by basis consult. So in development server, all the configurations will be there in development server. Okay, we have to do multiple configurations. In the sense, for every activity, we have to do the configurations. Where it happens? In development server. Okay, in detail, I'll explain in a different session. Right now, I know like most of you will not be able to visualize perfectly. So once the configurations and these things, like let's suppose I perform certain configurations, then you'll be having more clear picture. Okay, but still I'm giving some small explanations here. So development. So we have development, in that configurations we have, it will be done. And whatever configurations we have done in development, for every configurations, what is happening guys, a transport request will be generated. What is this transport request? That you guys will come to know once I start the practical session. So when we do the configurations in development, a transport request is generated. So we are going to move this transport request from development to quality. What is the benefit? If you move a transport request from development to quality server, it means the configurations was saved on this transport request. If this transport request we are moving from development, in the sense simply we will copy from development to quality. The TR will be copied from development to quality. It means the same configurations will be copied to this server also. Okay, and in this server what happened, we will perform our testing. In this server we will perform our testing, and if you found that yes it is fine, let's suppose we have posted multiple transactions and we found that yes it is fine, everything is fine, then this transport request from development, again because main TR is there in development itself, so from development this transport request finally it will move to the production server, and then the same configurations will be coming to the production server. But the transaction which we have posted to the quality server will not be, that is not going to move from, that is not going to move to production, because the transaction we have posted, it is there in quality itself. We simply move the transport request from development to production, so only configurations will be coming, and whatever testing we have done, whatever additional transactions we have posted in quality server, that will not be coming here to production system. Okay, so what happened? Perform mock cutover test. Okay, the timeline and process. So perform mock cutover test where? In quality server, right? Generally we have to bring the, like we have to migrate the data from legacy system to production system, but not directly. First of all we have to test here in the quality server, and if we found that yes it is like we are able to migrate the data smoothly, then timeline means how much time it is taking. It is taking, let's suppose, 2 days. In 2 days we have completed the entire migrations. Then we got that idea that yes, within 2 days we can complete the entire, in the sense entire data migrations, or within 3 days we can complete the entire data migrations. So what will happen? Then we have to move for final cutover, right? And for these 2 days or 3 days, we can lock the legacy system. We have to lock the legacy system, of course, because if we are migrating data from legacy system to SAP system, and if legacy system is not locked, then what will happen? User will keep on posting the transactions. So when you match the data from legacy system to SAP system, there will be mismatch. Why? Because by the time we have migrated the data from legacy system to SAP system, meanwhile somebody has posted some additional transactions, right? So there will be a data mismatch. So see, I'll tell you guys, I'm explaining in a very simple way so that everybody will be able to, like imagine something. Okay. Now, so generally what happened here? So we have performed the mock cutover, and if it is fine, then what is happening? The complete final data migrations into production system, where here this is the final system, this is the final server, where the client, in the sense Tata Motor users, will post their real-time data. Real-time data and real-time transactions will be posted here into production system itself. So now what is happening? The legacy system data will be finally migrated to production system, because here we need all those data, whatever the past data which is there in the legacy system, right? So that here we have to move. So just for testing, we have moved in the quality first, and once we found that yes, it is smoothly, everything's are done, then that is going to move to production system. Okay, so here complete final data migrations into production system and lock the legacy system if required. Legacy system means we have to lock it, in the sense we have to simply inform the user better not to use this legacy system for these 2 days, at least 48 hours, right? So this is called locking the system, so that there won't be any kind of data mismatch. Okay. So now once the data migration is done, then look at here, production system readiness. Now, so look at here, verify the system configurations and performance, in the sense like once again we can recheck the things. Okay, ensure all the development configurations are moved and transports are moved to the productions. So whatever this TR is there, okay, so this transport request ensure that all the transport requests we have moved to the production, so that whatever the development and configurations are there, that is moved to the production system. Okay, whichever configurations and developments are there, guys, that will be saved on a transport request. Configurations will be done by you people. Development will be done by technical consultant. When the technical consultant do any sort of developments, for that also transport request will be generated. So all the transport requests, once we move from development to production, it means all the configurations and development will be moved to the production, because those activities are saved on the transport request itself, right? So transport request is working as a carrier, which is like carrying out all this what do you say, configurations and development from this development server to production server. Okay, so now, so these things are done, and complete final validations and sign up from business users. Since already we have done the testing and we invited those people also to test this entire activity, they have tested and they said like it is okay. So we need to get the confirmations. Either they have to put their sign off on a particular document, right? Or else they will confirm through email. Nowadays, generally what happen, if anything is tested, they will simply confirm on the email, and even that is also accepted. That is also, you know, being considered by people. We need their acceptance, that's it, in whichever way they are giving. But verbal acceptance is not what do you say, that is not acceptable, guys. Verbally, if somebody has accepted and later on if they turn down and return back from their statement, then what will happen? So that's the reason we need a proof. So either they will accept on email, or else we have to prepare a document on that they will just go for sign up, they'll put their signature. And then finally, end user training also will be taking place. We have to train the end users, right? Uh, because they're pretty new about SAP. And then hypercare planning. Hypercare planning means what, guys? Of course, after implementations, let's suppose IBM said that I'll give 1 month free of cost support. So less than a quarter support comes is called hypercare. So hypercare planning means set up hypercare support team for 1 month. Now let's suppose there are total 40 members are there. So for support, all 40 members are not required. Even half of the team size, that's okay. Because now we have to, once the system become go live, then we have to see the performance of the system. If any, what to say, how much is the uptime, how much is the downtime for the system, is there any error which is faced by the client during transaction posting? If yes, then we have to find out the solutions, we have to provide the solutions, we have to, so these things we have to perform once the go live is done. So for that, first of all, we have to plan this hypercare planning, in the sense how many people are needed for this support? 1 month support, in the sense hypercare. So these things will be there. So set up a hypercare support team for immediate post go live issue resolutions or solutions. Okay. So now, so these things are happening. Then finally what happened? Go live will be done, and go live. Once the go live is done, it means now SAP is going to run continuously, isn't it? Until unless they are going to use, in the sense, maybe for 100 years, 200 years, who knows what will happen in future, right? But yes, for a smooth run, now go live is done, and for smooth run, what is happening? Go live and support for ongoing operations. Support for ongoing operations. First of all, 1 month free of cost, support will be there. In that, we have to check uh, the system performance. Look at here. So begin day to day. Okay. So begin day to day business operations using SAP system. So here, once the go live is done, now day to day activity will be performed by end user, in the sense users of employee of Tata Motor, right? Ensure all core business processes are running smoothly. So of course we have to observe, like, okay, these transactions are getting posted. Yes, it is posted. Is there any lag? Are you getting any dump, any technical issues or any functional errors or not? So that we have to continuously, we have to monitor, we have to watch. Okay. Monitor system performance, uptime, downtime. Look at here, uptime refer to the amount of time SAP system available and operational without any interruption, without any issues. Okay. Now, so, and this is how we can check the system performance, right? If any downtime is there, then how, like in 24 hours, let's suppose half an hour system was down due to any reason. So basis consultant will be there. These people will monitor the root cause of these issues, right? So these things are happening here in the last phase. Of course, go live is done. After go live, 1 month hypercare will be there, and in that we have to observe these things. And till 1 month, if everything are stable, then fine, the implementation is completed successfully. Now what happened after 1 month? Again they need our support, guys. Our, in the sense, consultant support. After 1 month of hypercare, now they need the support, and they have to go for again further negotiations with IBM itself or Accenture or different company. That is their wishes. But generally what happened, now they have to go for support, and permanent support. Permanent support, in the sense, like, if Tata Motor is going to use this SAP for 100 years, entire 100 years they need the support. So for support, who will provide the support? Of course, SAP consultant. So let's suppose initial 5 years contract they have done with IBM. After that, again they have done the contract with Wipro, right? So 10 years they have taken the support from outside. Then the client realized that why not to build our own support team? That is called in-house support team. In-house support team means they will hire the SAP consultant on their payroll. So I'll tell you guys, there are certain myths in the market. People are saying that, okay, in SAP there is no much career because once the implementation is done, what is the need of consultant? Right? I'll tell you guys, of course there is a need of consultant, and permanently they need. Tata Motor means, let's suppose, whether they are taking support from IBM, Accenture or any other company, who will provide this support? Of course, a team of consultant. So there'll be a requirement of consultant. Or else, if the Tata Motor hire and build their own team, in that case also they are going to hire the consultants only. So here also there is, ultimately the consultant must be required, right, to move further. Okay. So here, this is the last phase of implementations, and once the implementation is completed, and once this what do you say, hypercare is also completed, after that automatically this project will be converted into support. For support, again they will negotiate with the IBM itself, right? Okay, you give us this, you give us support for 2 years, and we are going to make this much payment. So initially, whoever the team has done the configurations, guys, in the sense implementations, the support mostly for 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, support goes to that particular team only, because they know entire things, what exactly they have done, how they have configured the things, what about the business process of Tata Motors. So they know everything. So it will be pretty simple and easy for them to support Tata Motors smoothly. They can support them, support that this Tata Motor, And once the like project becomes stable means, see, if any errors are coming, right? So every time we are providing the solutions, so after some time what is happening, guys, the things are going to be very stable. Now no much error. If any additional configurations are there, if any additional customizations, developments are there, so these kind of activity keep on coming. But the number of errors which is coming initially, now that is going to reduce, and it become very less later, after 6 months, after 8 months, after 1 year. Okay. So anyway, guys, so these are the total phases which is taking place. Total 6 phases are there here under activate methodology. So hope you guys are able to understand. So that's all in this session, guys.